FuXuan has just released, and in this video we're going to be covering her kit, her best relic sets, what main stats you should be aiming for, her trace priority level when leveling up her traces, her best light cones, best teammates, and what are the best Eidolons for FuXuan. So without further ado, let's get right into it. FuXuan is a quantum preservation character that specializes in helping her teammates take the least amount of damage as possible, healing them for a little bit while she takes the bulk of the entire damage. And the way she does it is with her amazing kit. Her skill activates this field called the Matrix of Prescience, in which she's going to be distributing 65% of the incoming damage that your teammates take onto herself. At the same time, while this field is up, FuXuan's teammates are going to get a max HP increase by up to 6%, and their crit rate also increased by up to 12% at max traces. While the Matrix of Prescience is up, she will also apply a CC immunity whenever one of her allies gets inflicted with any sort of CC. And this can trigger up to 1 time per activation of Matrix of Prescience. Her talent is pretty simple but very effective. What it does is that while she's alive, all allies on your team are going to take 10% less damage, and if her HP falls below 50%, she will heal back up to 80% of what HP she's already lost, if it makes sense. And that can trigger up to 2 times. It has a counter, and it can go up to 2. And the way you refresh the counter is by doing her ultimate. And her ultimate is an AoE Unga Bunga type of ultimate that also heals her allies for up to 5% plus some number of her max HP, and then charges her talent self-heal by 1. So pretty good ultimate if you ask me. Lastly, her technique is going to activate a shield on the overworld that's going to prevent you from getting hit from mobs, which honestly is kind of useless, because if you're getting hit by mobs, then I don't know what you're doing, bro. Also, when she enters battle and you have that active, the Matrix of Prescience is going to be already active for 2 turns, so she is incredibly skill point efficient whenever you use her technique, so take advantage of that if you pull her. Moving along to the relic sets, she doesn't have a 4-piece set that's actually too good for her, so she's going to have various different combinations of 2-piece sets, but the main one is going to be the 2-piece guard with the 8% damage reduction, because FuXuan's kit is centered around taking the least amount of damage as possible, and considering all her she's going to be absorbing 65% of the damage done to your team, you want her taking the least amount of damage as possible. You can pair that up with a 2-piece Longevitous Disciple which for the 12% max HP, also a 2-piece Messenger for the 6% speed, or even the 2-piece Knight for 15% defense, because damage reduction actually scales off defense. If you haven't seen the video that Guoba Certified made, shout out to Guoba Certified, he explained how defense actually helps with damage reduction. So a 2-piece Knight set also very valuable for FuXuan. As far as the planar ornaments go, the only Broken Keel and Ageless are the only ones that I would recommend for the HP or the crit damage increase for your ally. So either of one should work. I would probably go for the Broken Keel, but Ageless is actually pretty good as well. As far as main stats go, I would recommend going for the HP percentage chest, and if not, a defense percentage chest would also work. And then if all else fails, if you have an outgoing healing chest, that can also work, because she also heals with her ultimate, and she also heals herself with her talent. So if you just can't pull, you don't have an HP percent chest or a defense percent chest that's suitable, outgoing healing chest would also kind of work. So don't stress that too much. As far as boots, I want to prioritize speed on boots first, then HP percentage, and then defense percentage if all else fails. As far as the orb, you want HP percentage, can't get that, defense percentage also works. And as far as the rope goes, you want energy regen rope as usual for supports. And then if you can't get that, then HP percent or rope would also work. As far as substats to prioritize, obviously HP percentage and speed are going to be the top 2. Defense percentage is probably in there too. Effect hit rate is also really good if you're going to go for the Broken Keel. And then also HP flat and defense flats are also very good. Moving on to her trace priority, I would honestly prioritize her skill first. Then I would go into her HP scaling traces. After that, I go for the talent. And then ultimately, I would leave the ultimate and I would leave the basic for the end, because those are not that crazy. Those are not that important to level up, because leveling up the ultimate only increases your damage. Her healing on her ultimate stays the same throughout, so you don't have to level it up, as well as her basic, so you can just leave them like that and it would be fine. You're going to save yourself a lot of materials that way. So unless you're building your FuXuan as an E6 for DPS, I wouldn't recommend investing too much into basic attack or investing too much into the ultimate, because that only increases her damage. Okay, moving on to her light cones. Obviously, her signature is going to be her preferred one, providing a 24% HP increase, a 12% energy regeneration increase, and a 9% damage increase for the entire team when she is hit for about 2 turns. Also, in between waves, he's going to restore allies HP equal to 80% of what HP they're already lost. So that's kind of crazy for MOC if you're having problems clearing due to healing. Yeah, her light cone is very, very, very powerful. Texture of Memories, that's in the Herda store, is the second light cone that I'm going to recommend. With the effect hit rate up to 60%, is going to almost trigger your broken keel. So all you need is a 4% roll, which is, I think, is 1 roll. I think it will get you to the 20% effect hit rate for broken keel. Also, what is going to provide a shield, a really beefy shield of 32% of her HP for 2 turns, and then whenever she has a shield, she's gonna take 24% reduced damage, like even more reduced damage. So Texture of Memories is going to make her extremely bulky, and it's just you know, she's probably not going to take any damage. Honestly, I don't know, like I wouldn't stress too much if you are short on Stellar Jades, because Texture of Memories is a free-to-play light cone and it works wonders for FuXuan. Another light cone I'm going to recommend is going to be Landau's Choice, and that one is really good because it's going to increase her taunt value even more, making her more likely to be hit, increasing her energy regeneration, thus making her ult more, and then she's going to heal more. So it's a really good way of sustaining your team without actually having to heal your team like necessarily, because she heals herself with her talent. Yeah, very simple. Landau's Choice is very effective also. And another one is going to be Gepard's signature light cone, that's going to increase her defense by up to 48%, which is kind of nuts. Like if you know, like something that just gives you 48% defense just for free on a unit that has a lot of damage reduction and a lot of HP anyway, you're probably not going to be taking any damage anytime soon. So those are my recommendations for light cones. Now let's move on to her notable Eidolons. At E1, which is personally the one that I'm going to be going for, she's going to increase the crit damage to all allies by 30% when the matrix of prescience is up or when knowledge is up. That's just 30% crit damage increase for free. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty crazy. Her E2, if any ally dies, he's going to revive any and all allies who died in that move for up to 70% of their max HP. So it's kind of like a fail safe, if you will, which is really good. At E4, she's going to be more energy efficient, because anytime anybody in the team gets hit, she's going to get energy regeneration. And then at E6, she's going to pretty much become the Queen Unga Bunga Nuke type character, because she's going to, while pre-science is up, she's going to keep track of how much HP the team has lost. And then when she fires out the ultimate, she's going to pretty much nuke them for 200% of the stored HP, or the counted HP, if you will. It's only good if you're willing to spend the thousands of dollars that it takes to get it easy. So there you go. All right, now talking about the teams, everybody since Zila Silver Wolf came out, they've been talking about Mono Quantum team. Well, yes, this patch, Mono Quantum is going to be very much possible with the release of Lynx and the release of FuXuan. FuXuan synergizes very well with pretty much anybody in that team. Zila is going to benefit greatly from the crit rate increase and from the crit damage increase, and from also the protection that FuXuan brings. She's going to make that Mono Quantum Zila and Silver Wolf team very comfy. Also, if you run FuXuan, which you shouldn't have to run FuXuan, you can just run QQ for another DPS, or you can just run another support like Bronya or whatever. Because you have Silver Wolf, it doesn't really matter who you bring, it's still gonna be Mono Quantum essentially. So yeah, for the Mono Quantum team, she's going to work wonders, obviously. Another character that I think that she's going to synergize extremely well with is going to be Blade, because even though she's taking damage away from Blade's ultimate, she is actually keeping the entire team alive. She's providing an HP increase. She's also providing crit rate increase and crit damage increase to Blade. So his DPS is actually not going to suffer that much, because he's giving him so much value or so much DPS in other ways. Yeah, Blade's going to be super crazy with FuXuan. I can't even wait to run them in the same team. This next one is one that a lot of people are going to be very happy about, is Xuan, because Xuan has a problem in which if he is CC'd, he is pretty much useless. He might as well have a pet rock sitting next to you, because it does the same thing. So FuXuan kind of fixes that problem for our good old general, and protects him from being CC'd, thus having the Lightning Lord do his thing pretty reliably, if you ask me. She's also going to bridge that gap that she's going to be providing a little bit of more crit rate to Xuan, so it brings a lot of flexibility in his build. So yeah, FuXuan is going to be pretty much a godsend for Xuan main, so you know, you just got to be happy for it. And then finally, any team you want to throw her in, she's going to thrive. No team in the game is not going to benefit from having more HP, more crit rate, and more crit damage. Like it's just not. There's no team that doesn't benefit from that, and from taking less damage. She synergizes pretty much with any team. But yeah, I didn't even know why I made this segment, guys, but it is what it is. All right, so that's gonna be my guide for FuXuan, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and also if you guys enjoy this content and you want to see more of me, check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/isummonyt, and possibly help me make my next guide, maybe make my next video, my next tier list. You guys can be there. I'm also going to be starting a new account in which I only play with 4-star units, no 5 stars allowed except Fire MC. So that's going to be pretty fun if you want to check that out. Again, twitch.tv/isummonyt. That's going to be the end of the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next